Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech World, and guess what? I am back. I'm sorry this video is 2 days late, but it's homecoming week, so please make some memories while you're in high school. Don't waste it. Anyway, so on Tuesday there was the Apple event. I only got to watch the first 7 minutes live. They just started talking about the Apple Watch, and then I had to turn it off because I had to go to work. I just had such a busy week, but it's crazy. Anyway, so they started talking about the Apple Watch. All the Apple Watches now are carbon neutral, which is super cool. And so they are so close to that 2030 goal, and it's great. And they had that really cringy video. Both the Ultra and the Series 9 both got the new S9 chip, which is not really S9. And besides that, there used to be accessibility feature like where you tap and whatever, and then it could be like it will know because if you're full or whatever, it's an accessibility feature. And so now they're really re-releasing it as a brand new feature. Basically, you're gonna be pinching your fingers a lot, and you could do that if you're doing something with this hand or whatever. It's a lot more convenient because it used to be an accessibility feature, but now they're saying with this chip, it can be used as a regular feature. So I guess with the chip though, that Siri can also be on device now. So iPhones can already do that, but you could ask like, hey, what's 2 + 2? And it will tell you because it's all on device now. It doesn't have to like search through the internet, which it already did before. Besides that, they've gotten rid of the leather bands and stuff like that to make it carbon neutral and everything. But pretty much, this is probably one of the most boring Apple Watch updates in a while. The fact that they literally, the #1 feature about this is an accessibility feature. Cracks me up. Battery life don't change, nothing. We do have a new pink color, which is I think is kind of cool. And then moving on with the Ultra, it now goes up to 3,000 nits of brightness, and the Series 9 goes up to 2,000 nits of brightness. But there's no black version, which is kind of a bummer. I was talking about that last week video. I totally thought that would have been a great color to add. But because honestly, if they did not add a new color, I'm like, I really don't know why they had to update the Ultra, because the new chip. But it also has that new pinching feature, and I don't know, it's not that cool of an update. Like watches this year are kind of mid. That's why I'm just gonna keep my Series 7 anyway. And they moved over to the iPhone 15, and they explained that it has now USB-C. USB-C is to all models now. They briefly mentioned that AirPods get USB-C now, but they did not tell you anything about it. And so the AirPods, they get lossless audio now just with the Vision Pro headset, not with your iPhone, no, nothing else. Kind of weird, but it's only with the USB-C ones. So my Gen 2 Pro AirPods that I bought last year, they will not support lossless, even though it literally is the Gen 2 AirPods. It needs USB-C for whatever reason. I feel like that's software locking right there. It also has a water rating now, so it can be dunked underwater, which AirPods have never had before, which is weird. So I'm like, why? What did USB-C make that Lightning couldn't have? It made it more waterproof. Everyone was like, USB-C will make it less waterproof. It literally made AirPods waterproof. So I don't know what you're talking about. Back to the iPhone 15s. The new colors are kind of mid. They're all like, when they were showing the renders of the videos like done over them, like those look like deep pinks, deep blues, and yet we get these pastel blue, this pastel pink, and this pastel yellow. Surprisingly, no product red. Like, they're missing out there. My obvious assumption now is, oh, in March are they gonna give it a red color? Because like they haven't had an iPhone without a red color since the 6S, and that's a long time ago. So that's surprising to me that they didn't have a red color this year. New cameras, which it now gets the 48 megapixel main sensor, but no Pro RAW, which was kind of weird to me. So I'm like, they really want that as a pro feature, but you can still do 24 megapixel photos. You can't do the 48 megapixel. You can still do 24 megapixel photos, which are really good. I still want to know if they added macro mode to the ultra wide camera. I should have looked that up. They never mentioned that anywhere. And now they have a new portrait thing where you could take a random photo and it will save the data, and you can make it a portrait photo at any time, which makes me wonder, I'm like, oh, could they do that with cinematic mode around down the line? Like, I know you can take a cinematic mode video and turn it out of a video into a regular video if you don't like it, but the other way around, I wonder if they'll do that. So they've done that with portrait mode, maybe they'll do that with cinematic mode. Well, speaking of cinematic mode though, they didn't update it at all, so it's still we can only go to 4K 30. They didn't give us 4K 60, which is kind of weird, so I'm surprised they didn't do that. Besides that, the regular 15s also got dynamic island. Woo, that feature's kind of overrated, but I still have it on my 14 Pro. It's kind of nice. Every once in a while, just be like opening up so I don't have to open different apps or whatever. But that's going to all models, and I'm sure lots of people will definitely be using it. Besides that, I think that is all that really came to the 15s. A pretty solid update, besides for the color. But honestly, like, those phones are main event of this event, I feel like. The iPhone 12s, those were the main event when the 12s came out, but then the 13 Pros were the main event, and the 14 Pros were the main event. But finally, the budget models get the love for once. Anyway, moving on to the 15 Pros. They finally get the titanium thing. That they said titanium so much, almost like it was a lot. Like, they did not need to say titanium. Like, that's like all of their marketing is, oh my gosh, that's titanium. And like, I feel like that's overrated. But they did mention that it's like the lightest Pro phones they've ever had, so even lighter than the 11 Pros, which was surprising to me. But because it's titanium, all the colors suck this year. There's literally like 2 of the same color, the beige and the white, look almost identical. And so these phones also got USB, but it's USB 3.1. Also, the chip is the A17 Pro, which my assumption is, okay, they're gonna either put it in an iPad mini, which will be the regular A17 without like 8 gigabytes RAM. That's my only assumption. I'm surprised though, even with it being on a 3nm process, it isn't actually that much faster than the A16 chip, even though they're calling it 17 Pro. It literally must be just because of the 8 gigabytes of RAM, and so they're probably gonna do an A17 chip in like the iPad mini and not give it 8 gigabytes of RAM or something. Or they could give it into an Apple TV, or who knows. Like, the Pro, I think, is just they want to market it, seem cool. This is the chip that's gonna start the M3 transition. Cool. That's cool. Now, the most boring update of all was probably changing the ring switch to an action button. Now, I think a lot of people like this idea. I'm surprised how many people like this idea. But you can basically change it to whatever you want. You could do a focus mode, camera, flashlight, whatever you want. I don't think it's a cool feature, but I think a lot of people do, so I'm excited, and I'm happy for you if you guys like the feature. And then, of course, we got the beautiful cameras on this phone. They talked about the telephoto camera, but like, they made it seem like very boring. They're like, yeah, it's a telephoto camera. It's like having a 5 stack lens into one. We showed the mirrors. That was literally the worst graphic I ever saw, where it was like the zigzags of showing like how the mirrors back and forth to make it go 5 times zoom. I thought that was kind of a dumb graphic. Like, that doesn't look like something Apple would do. But so they're sort of demonstrating how you can zoom more. It goes up to 30 times digital zoom, which is kind of cool. I'm not gonna upgrade to the 15 Pros. I still love my 14 Pro. They also get the same portrait stuff that they were talking about on the previous phones. One feature which I think is super nice is spatial video on the iPhone. So everyone was like making fun of the fact, like, recording a spatial video on the Vision Pro headset at your kid's birthday or whatever. And obviously people are like, that's kind of weird. Why would you want your kids to remember you like that? Obviously, you're not going to be recording it with the headset. You're going to record it with your iPhone, and then you can play it on the headset later. I think that's a really cool feature, and that's probably the best thing about the cameras this year. But, you know, it was a fun update overall. I'm super excited that these phones are out now. Everything can switch over to USB-C. Cool. I'm still planning on keeping my phone for at least 3 more years, so I probably will be stuck on Lightning for many years to come. But anyway, what do you guys think of the event? Please let me know in the comments below. Peace out.